Hi guys, it's Paul Duncan here and welcome to another session of free group coaching on a Monday. I'm doing these sessions because of the coronavirus and the COVID-19 challenges that we're having at the moment, so trying to give back to the community as much as possible. It's all around about lead generation, conversions, but more than anything just to sort of get you through this challenging time. So if you've got any questions or anything, feel free to ask me at the end of the presentation. I just want to try and get this through. I'm very conscious of the time. So we've got about about 36 people on the call today, mostly local, but a few people interstate and a couple from overseas. So thanks to the guys from Manchester that's in. It's about the middle of the night over there, so I appreciate you staying up and muting yourself. But yeah, look, welcome to this. So let me just share my screen and we will get rolling. Just 2 seconds and we'll get this up and running. Okay. All right, let me just... Okay, so this is about... I'll just do a sound check. Let's just unmute. Mike, can you see my screen at the moment?
Yep, all good.
Okay, good. So that's the 3 must-haves for the business success. Great. Okay, so what we've got is, this is my must-haves for business success to get you through the coronavirus. So I want to just welcome, as I said before, welcome all the people today that haven't joined me before. I've got a couple of clients on board as well, so welcome to them. But more than anything, first of all, is that I've got a little bit of help with the business station at the moment and the city of Gosnells, right, that's got some funding from the state government to help out small businesses in this area. So I just want to mention now that I'm doing free business advisory sessions for you guys. It's 1 to 2 hours, so I suggest you, if you're struggling out there or if you need some help or you want some advice, feel free to book a call with me. And we can discuss a couple of the challenges you're having, and I can point you in the right direction. So the links are there to book a call with me, but there's also, I will, this is recorded as well, so with the recordings I'll put the links in there as well, so if you do miss it, then it will be with the recordings as well. So starting off with a couple of facts for small businesses. Around 80% of non-employment business for 2019, or 18 million business owners, reported less than $50,000 in turnover. Now that was across all industries. Now this comes from the Bureau of Stats here in Australia. So this is actually across Australia. It changes in the United States and through the UK and whatever, but it gives you an indicative sort of indication of facts around small businesses. So here in Australia, there's about 12 million small businesses. There are approximately 5,403,000 new businesses get started each month, right, that was happening in 2019. Now, the stats don't come out until the middle of the year, so it'll be interesting to see what's happened in the last pretty much 6 months of new businesses that open, because there's no businesses even operating at the moment, but new businesses. But this gives you an indicative overview of what's happening in the market. Okay, the non-employers had an average revenue of $44,000. So if you weren't in business and you were just an employee or whatever, you got a revenue of about 44,000. Right, over 50% of the working population, that's 120 million individuals, work in small businesses. Now, what they class as a small business is up to $1 million turnover. So we're talking a small business. If you're only, I've spoken to a few people that are earning $250,000, $300,000 a year, you're still classed as a small business. So it's up to pretty much $1 million in turnover. Now, small businesses have generated 65% of the net new jobs since 1995, which means that there's always been a growth in small business employing people, keeping people employed. That's why I struggle with the government now, that they're not looking at, well, they are starting to look at small businesses, but they were looking at large businesses for a long period of time until this challenge came into effect. So, I think small businesses is the cornerstone of the growth of Australia in an essence. This is an interesting one. Less than 3% of the businesses make more than $100,000. Okay, so that's net profit. So that's not revenue or turnover. That's actually net profit. So if you're not making $100,000 in your business, then you should be looking at getting another job or doing something with your business. So it's a lot of my clients are earning, they've doubled, tripled, and they're pretty much their earning capacity in the business over a 12-month to an 18-month period. So there is some strategies that you can go ahead and do. Now, this one here, 96%, you've probably heard that, 80 to 90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Well, it's actually gone up to 96% in 2019. So a lot of businesses are failing, okay, and that's just because of a few factors. It's, I had another presentation a couple of weeks ago about why businesses fail, and one of the things is not having a marketing strategy in place, not understanding the business properly, not getting the right help, and a few of those things. So if you want to see that presentation, flick me an email and I'll flick you that, and you'll understand why so many of these businesses fail. So if we look at this law, the 80-20 rule, which you've probably heard of before, I take it into a business context, which is I say that 80% of your sales comes from 20% of your clients, or 20% pretty much of your customers will produce 80% of your revenue. Okay, but what I see is that a lot of people are spending, that 80% of their time, right, on the people that aren't producing the revenue for their business. So if you think of what would happen if you increase that 20%, so that 20% of the customers producing 80% of your revenue, okay, what would happen? Right, so you'd get a massive intake in revenue if you looked at the 20% that's generating the 80% of your revenue. So when we look at your brain in a context, there's three major states that your brain is in at any time. Now, why am I going through this? It's all about getting a mindset set well for producing business success. So I always start off with the mindset in my presentation. So if you're wondering why I'm going through all this at this stage, right, if you haven't followed me or you don't know me, it's all around about mindset, getting you in the right state of mind. So I've done a lot of study around how the brain works, done a lot of NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, right? And I've come down to find out how the business works and how it can help you unconsciously build your business. So there's three major states for your business. There's downtime, uptime, and reticular activated system. So your downtime is like a hypnotic state, and it's in just like an autopilot. So that's when it's your subconscious side of it. Your uptime is when you're alertness, you're engaged, you might be busy at work, you're doing all that. So your downtime might be away from work, your uptime might be when you're at work, right? It's different for everybody. But what I want to talk about is the third one, which is the reticular activated system, which is a 24/7 state of your mind, right? And once it's once your brain is activated and moving, it wants to be engaged. So it's really your subconscious mind searching for facts, hot buttons. It's asking its questions. Is this important to me? Right? Is it a hot button issue for me? All these things is your reticular activated system is asking itself. How I look at the RAS is it's the compass for your brain. Okay, it's like a compass of where you're actually pointing your subconscious mind at any particular time. Now, why am I saying this? Is because when you understand how your brain works, and more importantly, your reticular activated system, right? You'll be able to point it into the things that you want to achieve. So your goals, your visions, your missions for your business. Okay. So, and what happens is that your subconscious mind or your brain starts finding all those things that you want to achieve, and your goals and your visions and everything like that. So what's the purpose of marketing? Well, my definition is to facilitate the prospect's decision-making process. So it helps prospects determine who offers the most value. Okay, so let me share my recipe for success. Okay, I work with a 4-part system, which is interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. So it helps you say it well by forcing you to enter the conversation going on in your prospect's mind, right? The critical conversation revolves around 2 things. All right, it's around the interrupt and the engage. So the interrupt is really the problem they have that they don't want, and the engage is the result they want that they don't have. Okay, so if you look at those 2 aspects of what people are looking at in a buying decision, okay, when you do your marketing, you need to interrupt them, which is, right, what's the problem they have that they don't want? Okay, and when you're trying to engage them, it's the result they want that they don't have. So the first, as I say, is the interrupt. So, it's about getting the attention of your prospects. Okay, the interrupt is like a headline in your if you're doing a print advertising, or it might be the first thing you say in your marketing or radio or TV, or it might be your elevator pitch in a networking event. It's that interrupt. How are you going to interrupt the prospect's mind to get their attention? And as I said before, it's about the problem they have that they don't want. So think about that. Okay. The second is the engaged. It gives the reader the promise that information is forthcoming. So when you interrupt them, right, and you start engaging them, they know that the information is then going to come through and you're starting to engage them. So pretty much in a print ad, this is the job of a sub-headline compared to a headline when you're trying to interrupt them. Now, I'll get into this in a little bit more detail when we talk about landing pages and websites, but I just want to go through this so you get an understanding of the 4 parts. So the third part is educate. Now, this is about giving information that allows your prospect to logically understand how and why you solve the problem they're facing, which means that they have a problem, right? You're then going to educate them on how you're going to fix that problem or give them a solution to that problem that they've got. Right? Remember, they don't want that problem. They just want a solution to the problem. So, in a printed ad, or if you're doing a Facebook ad, this is pretty much the body copy of your ad, right? Is where you're educating them. Okay. Now, what I see is a lot of people when they look at educate, they educate them about about the platitudes in their business. So things like, I've been in business 35 years, I use quality products, I'm Australian owned, all those platitudes around it, right? That's how they're trying to educate their customers. It's not what customers or your prospects want to hear. They want to know the solution. They don't care that you've been in business for 30 years. If you've got a solution to their problem, you've actually got them on board, or you're starting to educate them and you've engaged them. The fourth, and what I think is the most important, is the offer. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about a financial offer or an incentive offer. I'm talking about an informational offer. Okay, so when people look at offering as part of their marketing strategy, they're offering buy now and get 20% off, or buy 5 and get the 6th one free if you're in a retail store. What I'm talking about is information, because that's what we want at the moment. So you need to offer them a low risk way to take the next step into your sales process. So we all need a sales process. We take that people through a journey, what I call the buyer's journey, which I'll explain a little bit later. But what you need to do is you need to offer them some sort of marketing tool, a report, a white page, a brochure, a seminar, something that's going to give them some information, right, about what you do, how you're going to help them, how you're going to solve the problem that they've got. Okay, your offer, right, will allow your prospects to feel in control rather than you're controlling them. So, it'll help them in their final decision to call you or really buy from you. It just takes them through that sales process a little bit easier. So interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. Right. In my words, it equals market domination. It sets yourself apart from everybody else. I don't see anybody doing this in the market at the moment, following these 4 steps. So what I do see is that most marketing and marketing companies and most businesses, they only do 2 of these components. They interrupt by throwing something familiar at you or unusual at you. So, you know, I mean, a lot of the marketing out there is they promote usual stuff or things that are going to resonate with you, something that's familiar, just to grab your attention or to really interrupt you. Right. Okay. Then they go straight into an offer, and it's normally an incentive offer. So, you know, buy now, 20% off. Right. They leave out the engage and the educate, which to me is where I see the magic happens. So if we look at the buyer's journey, okay, you know, if you followed me before, have seen some of my my posts before, I talk about the buyer's journey in that we're all buyers for everything in the market, okay, but we're future buyers for that. Okay, right. So about 90% of 95 or 95%, right, we're after information, right, to get into the 1% where we become now buyers. So about 95, 97% of us are future buyers of everything out there. Okay, there's only 1 to 3% that are actually now buyers that want that right now. So it's the impulsive buy. So the you know, the Friday night when we want our fast food, we're looking at um, the fast food Domino's and all the outlets, especially now with Uber Eats and all that, right? We go right through the whole week, maybe cooking at home, but on a Friday or the weekend, we go from a future buyer into a now buyer, right? Where we really want that now. But you know, when the 95 or 97% of people on an ongoing basis are looking for information, that's why the offer needs to be in an informational offer. So, you know, some of the things that they're thinking about is, why should I buy, right, the product and service? Why shouldn't I buy that product and service, right? But when they actually jump into a now buy, they're asking themselves, who should I buy from? Is it from you, or is it from your competitors? Okay, so they're the questions that people are going through when they're going through this pretty much buyer's journey process. Now, if you've followed me for a little while, you know that I concentrate on strategic marketing rather than tactical marketing. So I'll just explain both of those and the difference between the two as it relates to the buyer's journey. So tactical marketing is where a lot of people market their business. They're trying to take the future buyers, right, to now buyers very, very quickly. So they're taking them from A to Z as quick as possible. So they really try to jump their prospect or their the people that they're talking to, right, from point A to point Z as quick as possible. But you've got to remember, these are all now buyers. They're future buyers. They're not now buyers. So they're looking for information. They're not looking for the now sort of marketing. Okay, so yes, it sometimes works with emergency situations or impulse purchases, like I said before. So like Domino's pizzas, the whole lot, right? We you know, market that out there. We can go from a future buyer to a now buyer very, very quickly when we see a Domino's ad on TV, right? And we just don't feel like cooking. So I mean, there is situations where we will hit that very, very quickly. But tactical marketing, this takes a long time, right, in essence, but a lot of businesses are trying to speed up that process. When we look at strategic marketing, right, we're concentrating on the future buyers more than the now buyers. Okay, so the future buyers, what we try to do is we try and take them from A to B, B to C, C to D, and so on. So, you know, it's a little bit of a slower process. Okay, but you get a lot more results, because what happens is that you're in face of mind to the people, that when they jump from a future buyer into a now buyer, excuse me, they remember you. Okay, and they're not searching for anybody else. They're automatically doing ringing you up or contacting you. So this is where a drip campaign comes in very, very effective. When you do have a database, you contact that database with a drip campaign on a consistent basis, and you're talking to them on a consistent basis. So when they do make that transition from a future buyer to a now buyer, they're thinking of you. Now, 99% of all prospective buyers reach a buying decision this way, right? So they're gathering information as much as possible to make that decision to buy. Okay, so I mean, I'm looking at renovating my house at the moment, right? I probably won't get it renovated until later on in the year. But what I'm doing now is, because I've got the time, I'm getting as much information as possible. So I'm going out there gathering as much information that that I can get to make that decision a little bit easier. So when we talk about a market dominating position, okay, this is one of the three must-haves, all right, to get you through this crisis at the moment and really to excel when you push through. So when we talk about market dominating position, your first step is to determine your strategic position in the market. So where you actually are positioned in your particular market. So what specific niche or market or segments of your marketplace should your business be focusing on? Not what you are focusing on, but what should you be focusing on? And there is a difference. Okay, so you need to determine, your skills in your business, right? The needs of your prospects, right? And then design your product and services around that, because it's no good having a product and service that nobody wants, right? It might be a fantastic product, it might be a fantastic service, but if nobody wants it, you're not going to sell it. Okay, so you need to start determining your strategic position in the marketplace. Secondly, you need to determine your primary market position. So what's your advantages in that market? What separates you from your competition? What's your uniqueness? What's your competitive edge, what I call it? You know what I mean? Because that's your secondary market dominating position. So your first marketing position will be how you set yourself up as your business, which is sort of delivering the needs of what your prospects and your clients really want, right? But your second primary market dominating position is what separates you from your competition. So there's two different positions that you need to be looking at. So an example is Domino's claimed it could deliver its pizzas in 30 minutes or less, or they would give it to you for free. Right now, this was a primary advantage that met the needs of the newly defined market position. Right, the hungry kids out there that wanted fast food. Right, so the college students that are sitting in their dorm rooms wanted something very, very quickly. This was a different marketing position that Domino's picked up. Right, which excelled their business to a whole new level. Got a whole new different target market in place as well, because prior to that it was the families that wanted that pizza pick up pizzas for their family dinner. But this is a whole different market that they developed just by looking at what's their primary market dominating position. So step 3 is determine your supporting business model. So what do I mean by that is, how will you specifically deliver your position, right? Your strategic position in your market dominating position, and what you're promising out to the market. How are you going to deliver that? What does your business model look like? So, you need to have a business model, because then when the environment changes, you can change your business model to adapt to that. So, use Domino's as another example, right? They built low cost, just ordinary vanilla stores that were located locally, right? And they hired additional delivery staff and drivers on a standby basis. Okay, so when they did get busy, right, they had that little bit of the business model for them was that they had those people that they could call in, which at at any stage, if they had a lot of deliveries to do, that wouldn't affect their business and their delivery status, because they wanted to deliver them in 30 minutes or less, so they needed to have that little bit of a backup. So I mean, you've got to look at that business model supporting your business in every way. Okay, but I mean, you start off with, what and how you're delivering that product and services out to the market, right? What supporting materials, what supporting stuff do you need to have in your business to do that if there is some changes in the environment. Okay. Step 4 is to determine your secondary market dominating position. So, I mean, as I said before, what's your competitive advantage? I mean, what's your uniqueness? What stands you out? What makes you an orange in a basket of apples out there? So, I mean, the Domino's, right, their secondary benefits was, putting a different, broader menu base in place, so more toppings, special pricing, assorted sizes. So they had a little bit of a different offering to their customers and their clients, rather than just the standard model that went through. Now, as time went on, that's increased. They've increased their menu mix as well to different things, from garlic breads and other things that they offer on their menu. But I mean, you've got to keep up with what's happening out there. Now, this all stimulates into your market dominating position and how you're actually out there. So, I mean, now we're going through this pretty much challenge at the moment. It's the prime time to look at how you're fitting into the market. So step 5 is, you need to create your statement or your position, right? And you do that by going through those 1 to 4 steps that we've just been through, right? And putting it into a mission statement, a vision, an elevator pitch, right? What you say, right? And that explanation of your business. So when somebody says to you, what do you do? Right, then you can start rolling off some elevator pitches and some things that really resonate with people, that they can they know about your business. Okay, so an expanded version, as said here, is Domino's provides busy customers with fresh hot pizza and other food items within 30 minutes or less. So they've condensed it into a sentence that they can put into their marketing, they can put into their elevator pitch when they're out there, their print ads, their television ads. This is what you need to do. You need to have your whole business in pretty much one simple sentence that's really, really easy to read and easy to deliver. Their other one is our assorted pizza offerings combined with our value pricing makes Domino's affordable to everyone. So there's some key words in there, assorted pizza offerings, value pricing, and affordable to everybody. So it's attracting different people, but it's also attracting their target market. So the second part of the must-haves is your business card strategy. Okay. Now, I see a lot of business cards out there, and they're all about information. So you'll have your name on there, your business, your contact details, and pretty much that's about it. Right. How I look at your business card is like a flyer. It's a promotion. It's a marketing for your business. Right. Now, if you think about how many business cards you've received in your lifetime and how many you've got right now, right, and how many you look at on a day-to-day basis, is probably going to be very, very small. Okay, it's because there's no added value on your business card. So you need to have something that's going to have on there that's going to entice people or interrupt people to take the next step. Okay, it's like a flyer, it's like a brochure, it's like your website, it's like all your marketing material. You need to look at your business card as a marketing material, which I see a lot of people not taking that advantage. They're giving their business card out, but it's just got their name, their address, and maybe a bit of contact details on there, and then that's it. So look at your business card strategy as one of your strategies going forward, to use it as a market opportunity more than anything. Okay, but The third one is landing pages or website, right? Now, this is the one that I want to concentrate a little bit about, because what we've spoken about in the marketing equation and the marketing dominating position, it comes through in your marketing, right? And it's normally around websites or landing pages, because every business owner I talk to has got a landing page or a website. All right. Not every business owner I speak to promote on print or on TV or go to networking events or, has JV partners or all those other marketing mediums, right? But what they all have is a website. So that's why I've put a website landing pages in here. And I want to try to incorporate what we've spoken about in the last pretty much 20 minutes, right, into this. So this is my my website for my marketing. Okay, but I want to try and give you some examples. So the first example I brought up is pretty much a typical website. Okay, where you'll have your logo up the top, a nice little picture. You'll have some tabs on it. You'll have pretty much a headline with some offerings on it or what you do, right? There's a call of action on there. There might be a video, but most of the websites out there follow this procedure. Why they don't work is because they're not hitting that four marketing equations, which is interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. Okay, so I'm going to go through that now. In this case, this guy John Smith, he's a psychologist, child psychologist. Okay, very busy. Got a lot of spent a lot of money on SEO to get people to his website. Okay, but he wasn't converting. Right. This video here was a little bit about educating of him being in business for 30 years. He's very experienced. He will look after you, the whole lot. All those platitude things he's put in the video here. No conversions. Okay. So if we take all that into consideration, what we've spoken about. Okay, this is how we've actually changed the website, and we went from less than 2% conversions to over 44% conversions in a matter of a week. Okay, took us a week to change this this website. Okay, so within a week it automatically jumped up by 40% in conversions straight to it. So I'll explain it a little bit more. Right here, right, he's got all his services down here. Okay, so if we suddenly take an example of an AHD kid, okay, where he does help people with behavioural problems and emotionally disturbed children and all that. But these kids are very highly active. They're they need 100% being around all the time. That attention is there. You've got to give them attention 100% of the time. This is who he helps the most. So we took that, right, and made a little bit of a landing page out of it. Okay, so for the interrupt, it was, are you sick and tired of yelling, screaming, and belligerent attitude of your child? Okay, so that's going to interrupt people rather than this website. Okay, the engage then comes in and it says, now you can discover the secrets to controlling your child and instantly restore peace and quiet in your home. You're actually starting to engage them. So the problem they had, you've actually addressed, okay, right? And you've given them the solution. Now you can discover, that's the solution. So then they go into the next one, which is the educate, which is in here, right? So the video is slightly changed about, he tells himself, gives a little bit of background with him. There's some written script down here as well for the people that don't want to watch videos. They're very visual rather than auditory, so there's both. It adapts both, but the video actually goes through and then says, if you want to learn the secrets to gain and maintain the control of your child in 60 seconds, put your details in right here. And within 60 seconds, they get an email with the secrets to controlling the child in less than 60 seconds. So it's an instant sort of gratification there. The other thing too is that it's visual. When people look at your marketing material, right, up here it's it's a nice little happy family. It's not resonating with people. These people are out, the parents are at their wits' end. They're sick and tired of their screaming kids. So put an image up there that's going to resonate with people to say, that's me. You know what I mean? How can this person help me? Well, you know, that's me. He can help me as a target market. So, I mean, look at those sort of things. So the call of action is still there straight away, right? But it's actually getting more of that interaction when people come to your websites. So other ones, right? When we look at it, it looks at you know, your market dominating position, right? Their market dominating position is to help people or help those you know, those kids or the parents of the kids that are struggling out there. Okay, how do they set themselves? What's their marketing position? Well, they've got, you know, they've got the secrets to controlling that. You know, what's their target customer profile? Well, they know their target customer profile. They know who they're talking to, who they're trying to attract, right? You know, what's the decision-making process? Well, you know, it's not going to be a long time. If people are searching, right, for instant gratification because they've got a kid in their back room screaming their heads off and they need help right now, what's their decision-making process? They want to make that decision right now. They need help right now. But it could be different for your business. Okay, so you've got to look at, you know, what's their decision-making process and put that in there. Is it an impulse buy? Is it a long-term buy that you've got to, you know, build a relationship up with them when they, you know, you take them through your sales process? I mean, what's the compelling message, right? You know, I mean, what's the sales process, as I said before, you know, and are you looking at the strategic marketing side rather than the tactical marketing? So as I said before, the strategic side is more about how you say it rather than, you know, where you put the ad or the marketing stuff. So, I mean, how you say it and what you say is more important than just having a website up there. So other ones that other examples. This is a lawn. Lawn landscaper or a landscaper. Okay, this was his website. Not compelling, doesn't follow the 4 steps. You know, where's the interrupt, the engage, the educate, and the offer, right? It doesn't even sort of interrupt you. Okay, all it's saying is this is what we do, and the call of action is request an estimate or, you know, or call now. Right, so there's no pretty much you know, sort of interrupt to even get to that engage, to that educate and offer. So, you know, it just falls up. So when we change it, we put a little bit of video up there, which is going to sort of entice people to take some action. It's going to interrupt them, right? How to increase your value of your home by 30,000 to 45,000 in a few weeks. Well, it's all about your landscaping, how your garden looks can add value to it. So that's what he's doing for. So, I mean, the video then takes it through, put your, you know, your contact before, and you will send you out a free guide, you know, landscaping ideas guide. Remember, the informational offer rather than incentive offer. Okay, so I mean, these all things get the conversions out there. So if you've got a website that's not converting at the moment, right, these are the ideas that you need to be putting in place. Another one, right, a dental. Okay, now this is a dental business that specializes in emergencies. So if you've got a bad toothache, if you've got an emergency, right, they want you to take action. They want you to call up straight away. Look at the photo, nice little happy photo. It's not going to resonate with people that have got a toothache or, you know, they've got a cracked tooth, or they've just, you know, been on the football field and they've had their front teeth knocked out. They come and they search for somebody. This is not going to resonate with them. Okay, so just changing a photo on there, we didn't change anything else, right? Doubled their conversion, right, in straight away within pretty much, I think it was an hour or 2 hours from changing that. We already started getting some conversions to it. So these things happen very, very quickly. Okay, so don't underestimate the impact of putting this in place straight away, because it will change what you do. Now, I just want to explain my pretty much dashboard, what's in the back, right? All these things that I talk about today comes in from an online e-learning system that I've got. We've added some more things to it in the last pretty much couple of weeks to a month now, where we've had a bit of time to look at it because of what's happening with the challenges. So there's a lot of things on the dashboard that explain this a little bit more. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm actually giving that away for 30 days for the people that are on this call. So if you want to get a 30-day access to this, please let me know. I'll send you out the link, and you can have a look around for 30 days, get some ideas. It's broken down into the visual and the auditory side of it as well. So there's videos on there which actually link into a workbook for all the sessions as well. Okay, and it'll take you through a process. So there's a couple of links of things that can help you at the moment. Okay, so I mean, there's a guided tour there which will help you around the website or my website and a few other things. Right, there's a wrong video which we've developed around what people in business, right, what they're doing wrong in their marketing, right, and what they should be doing. So there's a video around there. But this I'll send you out with the recording of this video as well. Okay, all this stuff. So pretty much recap what we've spoken about today, right? The 4-part series or the 4-part marketing equation, right? Firstly, we need to interrupt them. So you need to get their attention. So whether you market out there in printed ads, or you do brochures, you do flyers, you do business cards, you do your website, if that's your main marketing medium is your website and you want to get conversions, think about how you're interrupting them, right? Are you addressing that problem that they've got that they don't want? If the answer is no, right, well then you need to change that. Now I will also give you a link to what I call a marketing equation, which I'll explain in a minute, which then you can evaluate your marketing, right, against the 4 criterias. So secondly, it's the engage, right? What's the promise of that information that you're giving that's going to give them the solution to the problem that they've got? Okay, so if you're not addressing that, if you haven't got a solution, right, and you've addressed the problem they've got, then you're you'll not resonate with them because they want a solution, right? They know that they've got a problem. They know that you can help. What's the solution? You know what I mean? That's the engage to it. Right. Thirdly, it's the educate. As I said before, it needs to be a informational education, right? So, educate them about, how you're going to help them, or educate them on the solution, the steps, the processes of the solution that you're going to help them with, right? It's that information. It could be the workbook you send out as part of the offer. It could be, an email. It could just be the video. You kick them over to a video that explains the processes on how you help people and how you help them solve the problem they've got. And the fourth is the offer, right, which is the brochure, the seminar. You push them to a seminar that's going to help them, right, with a call of action at the end. It could be a white pages. It could be a checklist. It could just be an ebook, right, that you've developed, but it's something that's going to get them to go to the next level through your sales process. So the 3 habs for pretty much getting you through this, and more than anything, getting leads, because that's what we want. We want more leads, right? Is your market dominating position, how you fitted in that position, right? What's your uniqueness? If you're not unique, or if you're not differentiation against your competitors, all you're doing is you're competing on price. Okay, and we don't want to be competing on price. So if you're in a price conscious market, or if you think you're in a price conscious market and you're constantly competing on price, then really concentrate on your market dominating position. Okay, business cards. Think about how you're using your business card. Is it just an informational business card, or is there some marketing and promotion within that for people to take action and hang on to your card, right? And the last one is your landing page or your website, right? Is that converting, right? Have you changed it? Have you looked at it, right? If you've got a website that's been out there for a long period of time, right, and you've got, 8 to 12 services on there, break them down and have 12 or 13, 14 different landing pages, which is going to address each service for each particular target market. So As I said before, I've got free coaching or free advisory sessions happening until the funding runs out, which I believe should be around about September, October this year. So it's just designed to help people within this crisis and challenges right now, giving them a bit of time, a bit of space to talk about their challenges and get them put in the right direction. Fully state funded, so they're actually free to you. You can have one each month. Free of charge. They are about you, not me. So you come with the agenda, and I'll help you put in the right direction. I had one. Had this morning, and the person all just wanted about the legal side of it. So the first thing I did was I put them on to another legal advisor that we've got through the Small Business Development Corporation. Okay, and she's going to book a call with him. So we don't, we only sort of concentrate on the things that we do, and we direct the people that we can't help or we don't have that expertise to the right people that can help them. So I suggest that if you're actually having some challenges or frustrations out there, or you just need to talk to somebody about getting some tools and resources, or what you should be doing now, or even if you're worried about what's going to happen when we do start opening, which is starting to happen now, where the government's starting to lower the risks and the restrictions and all that out there. So we're on the right track. People are getting a little bit worried about how they're going to transition from where they are right now, or where they've been in the last month or so, into the new wave of getting people on board. So, I mean, you've got to market, you've got to promote. The other thing too is that it's the best time to promote now is when people are at home. So if you've stopped marketing, stopped putting money into promoting your business, right, you're missing a massive opportunity, right? You should be scaling up your marketing right now, and you should have done for the last pretty much 2 months. I've doubled my marketing expenditure in the last pretty much 90 days, and I'll continue to do that for the next 90 days just to get that. I've doubled my client base in the last month, mainly because people are searching for what I do, and I can guarantee they're searching for what you do as well. So a little bit of a question time. Anybody got any questions or anything? Let me just have a look at the chat box. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. All right, so I've got one from Robert. Okay, so Robert's asking how does he book a call? So I'll just, what I'll do is I'll put this in the, okay, so I'm going to put the link in the chat box for everyone to see. Okay, so you can actually go there. That's the landing page in the chat box right now. If you click on that, you can have a look at the landing page, get a bit of information, and then book my a space in there. I'll also add the links to the recorded session in the archives as well if you want to do it. So let me go through a couple more questions. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So Ronnie's asking if the 4-step, the equation, right? How do you get the okay, so what she's asking is that does it apply to all marketing materials? Okay, and the answer is yes. Okay, so any marketing or promotion you go out there, right, you should look at the 4 things. Are you interrupting? So, I mean, if you're doing a television ad compared to a print ad, it's exactly the same, right? If you're in a networking event, for instance, if you go to networking events, it's your elevator pitch. Is your elevator pitch interrupting the people that you're speaking to, right? Are they engaging them, educating them, and have you got that call of action, that offer at the end? Okay, it should be in the elevator pitch, right? It should be in your presentations as well. If you do some some workshops or some webinars or anything like that, look at, are you interrupting these people as far as the webinar is concerned, right? Are you addressing the problem that they've got? So, yes, the question is yes, it applies to every marketing that you do. So when people do a webinar or a seminar or a workshop or whatever, it's still a marketing challenge for everybody to get that across. Okay, so we give heaps of information out there now in different ways. So, I mean, a lot of people are doing a lot of workshops online now, a lot of webinars online now to get that information across. Okay, to help people as best as possible. So look at those four ways of doing that. Okay, Roman. Yeah, okay, so Peter's asking, yes, Peter, these are happening every Monday, right, at 3 o'clock Australian West Standard Time. So you're in Sydney, so you're 3 hours front, so it's 6 o'clock your time. I'm going to have these pretty much until the end of July, and then we'll see after that. So every Monday. If you do have anything that you'd like to know or you want me to present about, flick me an email, paul@paulduncan.com.au, and I'll put that into a bit of a presentation. I'll get a bit of information together and present that. So if you're struggling in any way, whether that's lead generation or whether it's conversions or, just, I've just did a bit of a drip campaign for somebody that's sitting at home at the moment. And the question was, how do I keep in contact with my database? Okay, so yes, it's been sending emails, but we've now got what's called a drip campaign, which has taken them through a little bit of a journey with a sequence of emails that have been pre-recorded, pre-scheduled out, that'll keep on going, and all they need to do is to put people into that drip campaign, and it'll take them through that journey to give them valuable information, but also a little bit of a call of action as well in case they need some help. So yeah, if you do need some help in either way, feel free to reach out, flick me an email, and I'll put that into a little bit of a presentation going forward on one of these Monday free group coaching sessions. So any other questions? No, that's probably about it. Okay, guys. Well, look, I'll stop it there because we're getting on to a little bit of the hour now. So guys, thanks for joining me today. I've made it a little bit quick and gone through this presentation very, very quickly. So if you do need any more information, feel free to reach out. I suggest you book a call if you haven't already done so, and we can catch up for an hour and discuss your personal and specific issues and challenges to your business. And if you need any tools and resources or anything else, then let me know. I've also got, I will add a little bit this thing as well, which is what's called the conversion equation evaluator. Okay, I'll add this as a bit of a download for it. Okay, this is where you can evaluate your own marketing. Okay, so I suggest you give it to somebody that you know but don't know too quick. That's going to give you some constructive criticism about your marketing on the 4 points that we've spoken about today. So interrupt, engage, educate, and then down the offer. Okay, so they'll just evaluate the marketing. You might just send this out to a friend of yours and say, look, right, I wonder if you can do me a favor. Can you have a look at my website and just fill this evaluation form out for me and get it back to me? And then you'll get an overall pretty much evaluation tool from it, a percentage right back when you add them all up the top. Then you can have a look at where your marketing is going from a different point of view. Right. It could be maybe one of your prospects, could be a client that you asked to get done. But what it's going to do is it's going to give you an opportunity to actually concentrate on a couple of these issues to help you start converting with the marketing that you're doing right now. So that's a little bit of a conversion evaluator that I've got going. I'll add the link to the replay of this, so you can click on that and download it. But as I said before, if you want to catch up, if you want to do pretty much the business advisory session, feel free to book a call and we'll be able to catch up. So guys, thanks for joining me and look forward to catching up next week. Take care. See ya.